Okay, guys, the next part of our Unit 8 test corrections. We're looking at solving quadratic equations. Now, the key to a quadratic equation is that means quadratic equation means you have an x squared in it, which means it's a little trickier to solve than our basic equations. So the first thing you want to do is make sure the equation is equal to 0. You can't solve it until it's equal to 0. Once it's equal to 0, then you want to factor. Now, remember what that means. You want to look for a GCF first. Then you want to look for difference of perfect squares. Then you want to look for big or both. And then don't forget about double bubble divide. So you're going to factor it using one of those methods. Then you're going to split your factors and solve. So I'm guessing that, I'm hoping that sounds familiar to you guys. Factor, split, and solve. So looking at this first equation, I see that I have it set equal to 0. So that's all set there. So now I'm going to grab my calculator and I want to check for a GCF. So I'm going to go math, I'm going to go over, and I'm going to go number 9. And I'm going to type in an 8, 12, and I want to see if I have one. I have a GCF of 4. I can take out a 4, and then I notice that I can also take out an x. So now I need to fill my parentheses. Divide by 4x, divide by 4x. And I get 2x plus 3 equals 0. So now I've just factored my equation. So I factored it. Now I have to split it. So now notice that I have 2 separate x's here. I'm splitting it not between my 2 sets of parentheses, but between my 2 x's. So I have a 4x over here, and then I have a 2x plus 3. And now I need to solve each of those. Now remember, if you have an x sitting out in front, then your answer is x equals 0. That is one of your answers, because 4 times 0 is 0. That's what you want. Now, when you have your parentheses, it's a little different. You write down x equals. When I take a number out of the parentheses, I change the sign, and then if there's a number in front, I have to divide. So those are my 2 answers for this equation, okay? So you factor, and then you split and solve. When you don't have addition or subtraction here, it's just an x, okay? That's just an x times 4, then your answer is always a 0. All right? So now I'm going to look at this next example here. First thing I want to do is look for a GCF. So I'm going to go math, I'm going to go over, I'm going to hit number 9. I'm going to type in a 4 and a 16. I have a GCF of 4 again. Now, not everything has an x, so I can't take out an x. So I'm going to divide everything by 4. And I've got x squared minus 4 equals 0. Now, this is where you want to be careful. Look inside your parentheses. Can I factor again? And look, I've got x squared minus 4. Difference, subtraction of perfect squares. So what I do is I keep my GCF of 4, but then I can factor using difference of perfect squares. Difference of perfect squares means I always have a plus and a minus. The square root of x squared what you want to look out for, you split where the X's are. So look at the 4 in front. Is there an X there? No, so I ignore it. And then I have a set of parentheses, split, and another set of parentheses. So my answers come out of where the X's are. So here I have an X in the parentheses, so I want to pull my answer out of the parentheses and change the sign. Pull my answer out of the parentheses and change the sign. So those are my 2 answers right there. Okay. Now I have a third example. Do I have a GCF? I'm sorry, I'm going to back up. It's set equal to 0, so that's good. Now I can factor. Do I have a GCF? No. Not everything has an X, so I can't take out an X. And there isn't a number here, so I can't take anything out. Difference of perfect squares is only 2 terms. I have 3, so that doesn't work. Bigger both it is. So I have bigger both. The bigger number is negative. So that means that the smaller number is positive. X is here and X is here. So on my calculator, I'm going to go to y equals 24 divided by X. I'm going to go to my table. And I want to look for all the numbers that multiply to get me 24. So I have a 1 and a 24. But if I put them in here, I'm not going to get a negative 5. 2 and 12. If I put the bigger number in the negative, I'm not going to get a negative 5. 8 and 3, that one will work. The bigger number is negative, the smaller number is positive. It's factored, I split, and I solve. So those